Kingdom people, what's going on? This is Clay. I wanted to sign on real quick just to share a story that took place on my vacation. Yes, we went on vacation, my family and I. We just came back from the Carolinas. It was lovely, man. Seeing friends and family, the beach, just getting out there to relax was awesome. The first day was not so awesome, and the first day was actually pretty hectic, man. Driving out there to the Carolinas with two sets of twins is a challenge, to say the least. And the first day, we found that it was really crazy to take on that trip with our second set of twins, who's one, really wasn't really feeling the trip at all. They were not down to sit in that car seat for that long, so we had to stop often along the way. And what was supposed to be 8 hours to go to West Virginia actually took about 15. So we were on the road all day, and we were just tired. We were stinky. We were cranky. Man, it was not fun. And so we had to stop in West Virginia, and we went from hotel to hotel to hotel, to suite to wherever, to look for a place to stay. And there was absolutely no vacancies, right? And so we're like, oh my goodness. So we were desperate, so we had to settle for anything. So we settled for like this place that was just really kind of a hole in the wall. And so we were kind of frustrated by that too. And then in the process, babies are crying and screaming, and my daughter's spilling ice cream in the seat, and I'm getting mad, I'm snapping off, and I'm just coming unglued. I'm getting short, it's late. I mean, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm exhausted, and my kids are wilding out, and I'm just pulling my hair in my head. Well, when we got to the hotel, after everything's done, I say, Lord, man, I'm wilding out. It's late. I know I'm tired. This is not an excuse, though. I need to do something about this. So I went to my kids. I said, hey, guys, can you forgive me for coming across the way I was? They're like, yeah, Dad, I forgive you. It's like, hey, I went to my wife, said the same thing. She graciously forgave me as well. And something in my spirit was still stirred up, and I was like, you know what, I want to go ahead and take a toll on the enemy. The enemy's trying to come in and steal and kill any kind of joy that we have, that we have for this trip, and we want on this trip. And so I wasn't about to allow him to come in and rob any joy and to rob me from having a good time on the trip. So I wanted to take a toll on the enemy, so I went on the offensive, and I said, I want to find somebody to share the gospel with. I remember as I was packing in and out the hotel room that night, that there was this lady there it just was obvious she was up to no good. She was obviously just hanging out in the hotel looking for something to get involved with, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to share the gospel with her. The unlikely. So I decided to go and talk to her, and I remember I approached it differently. I met Mark Marks, a great man of God from Ireland, and he has this approach. He has 3 questions, and the 3 questions he asks is simple, really. Is, hey, can I ask you a question? And the second question is, if Jesus can perform a miracle for you right now, what would it be right now? And then the third question is, okay, well, if Jesus can provide a miracle for your life, for your entire life, what would that be? So I asked this lady the 3 questions, started off that way, and she was stunned. She's like, I don't know. I don't know what kind of miracle Jesus can do for me right now. And oftentimes, if you decide to approach it that way, expect for people to be caught off guard, and because this is a big question. So give people some time to really process. In this case, she really didn't have anything. So then I said, okay, that's fine. So if Jesus can give you any miracle in your life, in the long term, what would that be? You say, well, maybe, me going back to school for college. So we prayed. We prayed on that, We prayed that the Lord would be able to open up steps for her to get back into school, and for her to get back into college, and for her to graduate. And so after that prayer, I decided to keep pressing in. So again, Mark Marks put me onto this as well. He says he shows this picture to people, and he gets people to look at the picture And he asked them, what's the door missing? This is a picture by Mr. Hunt, William Holman Hunt. And it's a famous picture of the light of the world, Jesus knocking on the door. And he asked me, okay, so what's missing on the door? And the lady looked at it and it's like, I don't know. I don't know what's missing. And I said, well, there's no door handle. There's no doorknob. It's like, oh, yeah, there's no doorknob. And then I said to her, this is what's going on right now. Jesus is knocking at the door of your heart. But here's the deal. Here's the catch. He isn't going to open it from the outside. You got to open it up from the inside. She looked at me, and I said to her, if Jesus was knocking at the door of your heart, would you open it up for him? She thought about it. She's like, well, yeah, I would open up for him. So I unpacked what that looked like, what that meant for her to have Jesus in her heart, to have Jesus as the king of her life, to have Jesus reign supreme in all things. And when I explained that to her, she was attracted to it. She said, yes, I want that life. And so right then and there, 2 o'clock in the morning in the hotel lobby, we prayed the sinner's prayer. And I led that young lady to the Lord. She accepted, verbally committed to make Jesus Christ the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of her life. And that was good. But I say this to say that, looking back on that day, man, it was really crazy. And I could have allowed circumstances to weigh me down and all these issues that came up to put me on a bad mood and keep me in a bad mood. But I decided, you know what, Jesus is living in me. And the light of the world's going to shine and get a shine on. And so I encourage you that when circumstances come, when things get hectic, when things get hard, to not love less, but to love more. And to make it a harder place for anybody around you to go to hell. I hope that encourages. This is Clay signing out.